English Leap podcast from Speak English with Miss Nova.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Speak English with Miss Nova, where we learn English through real daily life conversations. I am so happy you are tuning in with us today.
Hello, everyone. It is wonderful to be here with you again. Today, we are going to explore a topic that every single one of us struggles with at some point in life.
That is so true. Have you ever wished you could stay completely calm when someone criticizes you? Or maybe when someone ignores you, tries to start an argument, or intentionally tries to upset you?
Oh, absolutely. It happens at work, inside our homes, online, and even with close friends. Someone says something unkind, and instantly our heart rate goes up, we feel angry, we want to defend ourselves immediately.
Exactly. But in today's episode, titled Stay Calm and React to Nothing in Your Life, we are going to learn why choosing not to react is actually your greatest power.
That sounds amazing, Miss Nova. And as always, while we discuss emotional control, self-discipline, and inner peace, our listeners will also learn natural English vocabulary, sentence structures, and everyday expressions to improve their speaking and listening fluency.
That's right. So grab a notebook, sit back, relax, and let's dive into today's lesson.
Miss Nova, before we begin, could you explain what it actually means to react versus to respond? Aren't those two words meaning the same thing?
That is a brilliant question to start with. They sound similar, but in English and in life, they are very different.
How so?
A reaction is sudden, fast, and driven by raw emotion. When you react, you are not thinking with your logical brain. You are acting on instinct, usually out of anger, fear, or hurt.
Ah, I see. Like when someone yells at you and you instantly yell back without thinking.
Exactly. That is a reaction. Now, a response, on the other hand, is thoughtful, conscious, and calm. When you respond, you take a deep breath, you process what happened, and you choose your words with care.
So a reaction is automatic, while a response is a choice.
Precisely. To react to nothing does not mean you become a statue or let people walk all over you. It simply means you take away their power to control your mood.
You know, Miss Nova, I often wonder why people criticize or try to provoke us in the first place. Why do people do that?
In most cases, another person's behavior has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them.
What do you mean by that?
When someone is rude, insecure, or unhappy with their own life, they often project their negative feelings onto others. They want a reaction from you because your reaction gives them a sense of control.
Wow. So if I get angry, I am actually giving them exactly what they wanted.
Yes! Think of your emotional energy like money in a bank account. Every time you lose your temper, argue, or waste hours thinking about a rude comment, you are spending your valuable emotional currency on someone who does not deserve it.
That is such a powerful metaphor, Miss Nova. Emotional currency? We should guard our peace of mind just like we guard our wallet.
Absolutely. When you train yourself to remain calm, you become emotionally invincible. You are telling the world, my peace is too valuable to be broken by your noise.
Let's make this practical for our listeners. Can we walk through some real-life situations where people usually lose their calm and show how to handle them using calm English phrasing?
I love that idea. Let's look at 3 common daily scenarios. Scenario 1, criticism at work.
Imagine you are at your job and a coworker rudely criticizes your work in front of everyone. What is the best way to handle this without losing your temper?
Instead of getting defensive and saying, "You don't know what you are talking about," take a slow breath. Look them straight in the eyes with a calm expression and say, "Thank you for your feedback. I will review it and make any necessary adjustments."
Ooh, that is so professional. It completely neutralizes the attack. They were expecting a fight, but you gave them pure grace and maturity. Scenario 2. Someone trying to start an argument. What about when a friend or family member is raising their voice and trying to force you into a heated debate?
In that situation, silence is your strongest weapon. But if you must speak, keep your voice low, quiet, and steady. You can say, "I can see you are passionate about this, but I prefer to discuss this when we are both feeling calm."
Wow, lowering your tone actually forces the other person to quiet down so they can hear you. It immediately de-escalates the tension. Scenario 3, being ignored or excluded. And what if someone intentionally ignores you or leaves you out of a conversation to make you feel small?
Do not beg for their attention. Do not look hurt. Simply focus on your own path. Remember this expression: silence is a full sentence. Your quiet confidence shows that your self-worth does not depend on their approval.
Miss Nova, it sounds great in theory, but in the moment, staying calm is really hard. Our body reacts physically. Our face gets red, our heart starts beating fast. How can we physically control ourselves in those difficult seconds?
You are so right. Emotional control begins in the physical body. Here are 3 physical habits you can practice immediately when you feel trigger words or stress coming on.
Please share them. I need this advice as much as our listeners do.
First, the 5-second pause. Before you open your mouth to reply to a rude message or comment, count to 5 in your head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That tiny pause gives your logical brain time to catch up with your emotional brain.
Second,
Unclench your jaw and drop your shoulders. When we feel attacked, our body tightens up automatically. We clench our teeth and raise our shoulders toward our ears. Pay attention to your body. Consciously relax your facial muscles and drop your shoulders down.
that instantly releases physical tension. And what is the third habit?
Third, deep belly breathing. Take a slow inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold it for 2 seconds. And exhale slowly through your mouth for 6 seconds. This signals your nervous system that you are safe and prevents the fight or flight panic response.
This whole conversation really connects back to self-discipline, doesn't it? Controlling your tongue is probably one of the highest forms of discipline a human being can achieve.
You hit the nail right on the head. Marcus Aurelius, a famous ancient philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What a beautiful quote. Can you break that down into simple English for our language learners? Of course. It means you cannot control traffic. You cannot control the weather. You cannot control what rude things people say or do. But you have 100% control over how you react in your own mind.
When you realize that, you stop feeling like a victim of your circumstances. You become the master of your internal environment.
Exactly. True confidence is not about shouting the loudest or winning every argument. True confidence is quiet. It is knowing that you don't need to prove yourself to anyone.
Miss Nova, let's do a short role-play dialogue for our listeners. This will help them practice listening to natural, everyday English phrases for handling difficult conversations calmly.
That's a fantastic idea. Let's pretend you are a stressed out friend who is complaining about a difficult situation, and I am using calm, supportive, and mindful language to guide you.
Miss Nova, I am so frustrated today. My neighbor parked their car right in front of my driveway again. I was almost late for work. I feel like going over there right now and yelling at them.
I completely understand why you feel upset. It is frustrating when people are inconsiderate. But before you go over there, take a deep breath with me.
Oh, you're right. I'm just so tired of this happening over and over.
I know, but if you go over there while you are angry, it will likely turn into a shouting match. Why don't you wait until this evening, when your mind is calm? Then you can address the issue politely but firmly.
That makes sense. If I stay calm, they won't have an excuse to make me look like the bad guy.
Exactly. Protect your peace first, handle the problem second.
Wow, that felt so real. Notice how Miss Nova acknowledged the feeling first, but advised waiting for calm thoughts before taking action.
That is a key phrase in English. Acknowledge and redirect. Validate the feeling, but redirect the behavior toward peace.
Let's review the top English expressions we learned in today's podcast, so our listeners can start using them in their daily speaking practice.
Great idea. Here are 6 essential phrases for staying calm and protecting your peace. Protect your peace. To actively avoid drama, negativity, and unnecessary stress. Take the high road. To respond politely to rudeness instead of seeking revenge. Silence is a full sentence. Choosing not to answer is a complete and powerful response. De-escalate the tension. To calm a dangerous or angry situation down calm. Emotional currency. Your mental energy and time spent on feelings. Keep your composure. To remain calm and self-controlled under pressure.
Let's practice making a sentence with take the high road. Even though my brother was yelling at me, I decided to take the high road and speak calmly.
Excellent sentence. And here is one for keep your composure. She kept her composure during the stressful job interview and answered every question smoothly.
Miss Nova, as we approach the end of today's episode, what is the main message you want our listeners to hold on to in their hearts today?
I want you to remember that calmness is a superpower.
It really is.
In a world full of noise, chaos, and fast reactions, the person who can remain still, calm, and collected is always the most powerful person in the room.
When you react to nothing, nothing can disturb your internal happiness. You gain total control over your life, your choices, and your future.
And remember, improving your English fluency is very similar to building emotional control. It does not happen overnight. It requires small, quiet, daily steps.
Don't worry about making small grammar mistakes. Keep listening, keep speaking, and keep building your confidence, step by step.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today on Speak English with Miss Nova. If you enjoyed this lesson, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this podcast with a friend who might need a little peace in their day.
Leave a comment below telling us, how do you stay calm when life gets stressful? We would love to read your stories in English.
Until next time, stay calm, protect your peace, and keep practicing your English.
Bye-bye, everyone. See you in the next episode.